What is up, guys? Archons, now I'm here bringing you guys another YouTube video. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I apologize for that. The holiday season has been a little rough for me. Hopefully yours is going better. But I did have time to do the 9.1.5 Mage Tower that just launched recently. This is the Unholy spec. So this can be done. I do not have Legion gear. I have basically Shadowlands gear, and the enchants that I'm using are the BFA Flask, an Augment Rune from Shadowlands, Sharpened Stone from Shadowlands, and the Feast from Shadowlands. Those four things. It didn't cost me much money either to buy all these consumables. I think at most it was probably 10k. And it didn't even require me to use all of them either to get through it. That's the big thing. So, unfortunately, I would like to have had like abilities and timers on the side of the screen there and done this through editing software, but for whatever reason, I can't pull the VOD. So, this is the best I can do. For some reason, Twitch keeps taking me to this video player whenever I try to download my VOD. But anyway, go ahead and play it. I'll go over it and give you guys the play-by-play a bit here. So you got to drop the feast after you get inside. Once you, if you try to do it before, I think it gets rid of the buff when you come in here. As for the augment rune, that stays with you no matter what. The feast is the only thing that resets. So typically I hold army until she says the third line of dialogue, and then maybe I wait like half a second after she says it, or it shows up as a text box down below here. Then I hit army, unholy blight, dark transformation. I get my stacks on her, and then I pop apocalypse, right? So when the fight starts, you will have some imps that spawn. The imps are random where they spawn. I've had good spawns where they spawn right under her and I just cleave them all down. And then I've had spawns like this where they spawn to the back of the room. As you can tell, Unholy Blight didn't even touch them, so I didn't get the plague down on them. It was a very awkward first portion here. I think the best that I got her to was about 73 before the first set of healing imps come down. I'm sorry, not the first set of healing imps, the first set of invulnerability imps. So big thing here is you want to use Unholy Blight on these guys along with Death and Decay, and then you just Clawing Shadows them down. You always want to Death Grip interrupt the first set, so you Death Grip one and then you interrupt the other so it can't heal her. And then from then on, you want to use Death Grip on at least one of them to cancel the healing, otherwise she heals for a lot of health while you're beating them down. I was running Death's Reach, so whenever you kill something, you get a reset on your Death Grip. So you pull one, kill it, and then your Death Grip comes up, and then you grip it again, grip the other one that's still healing, and that breaks the healing, and she gets a lot less healing that way. As for the Fuming Imps, you want to take them to the sides and blow them up over there. You basically have to walk over there and then stand there for a second, and they decide to blow up whenever they decide to blow up. As you can see there, I preemptively drop my Death and Decay as well as my Dark Transformation and my Unholy Blight because I know the Healing Imps are coming and I'll get max debuff on them. Like I said, this is pretty good for percentage. 73% is actually really, really good to have at this portion. We're doing great. We're getting through here. Big thing is Death Strike resets. So if you're at 40 to 60% or 40, upwards, I would say use Death Coil. But if you're lower than 40, you want to use Death Strike to get back up to a reasonable health pool. It's very easy to get your health back up from being low. You'll see it a couple times in the video. So here come the killing imps or the imp servants again. I drop my Death and Decay, my Unholy Blight. I hang on to my Dark Transformation because I don't use them on this imp pack. I use it on the next set that cause the invulnerability. As you can see, we're getting Death Strike resets. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pop my Dark Transformation on these guys. Try to get my ghoul to go as far back as I can to use the chains. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not the normal rotation pack. This is the one odd pack that you get. So I think after your third set of healing imps, you get one set of ads. One is a invulnerability ad that you have to kill in order to break so you can damage Agatha again, and the other is a fire imp, and then you get two of the other imps that explode when they get in proximity of you. So for that one, you want to run to the back side of the room, left or right, doesn't matter, and let them both detonate while clawing shadowing the healing imp. So now we're on a normal rotation here. We grip to interrupt the funnel, and then we kill him, and then we have our grip back up. Unfortunately, for some reason, like I was too close, so I couldn't go off. And we're getting close to transition now. As you can tell, I'm doing 22.6k heals per second. That's what the top meter is, and the bottom meter is DPS. You don't need insane DPS to do this. Like I said, I'm in all Shadowlands gear, and I'm not playing anywhere near perfect. So again, for these imps, you want to try to get the Shadow Bolt imps down. Ideally, you want to get the firebolt ones down because they do a lot more damage, but if you can get them like I did where they're all individually, you can take advantage of Death Strike resets to heal for a good portion of your health. And then at 50% she teleports, and now we have boulders to dodge. So again, grip to interrupt. This is where my timers got a little bit screwy because I didn't Unholy Blight right away when the imps came down. So you may notice the timers are a little bit off. I think I actually save an Unholy Blight to reset the timers so that they line back up again. So APOC is up. You will definitely, if you're running Army of the Damned, you will get 2 armies. As you can tell, I'm on like a 20-second cooldown here, so I only got to cast like 2 or 3 more Death Coils and I'll have them. So the boulders do come down from the side that I'm standing on, so it's very dangerous to be where I'm at, but I wanted to dump the imp there, so that's what I do. Later on in the video, I'll actually get caught trying to do that, and I'll get hit by a boulder. If you can, you want to try to run your hell chains, obviously, through as many imps as you can. It does a lot of damage. Grip pull to interrupt. I get a reset. I grip the other one, I think. No, I just flight up, kill the other one. And then we get rid of the Shadow Bolt imp. The spawns are very random. The only imp spawns that aren't random are the healing imps. Everything else is random. You can get very lucky with the shadow casting imps as well and have them spawn on top of you during hell chains and you just nuke everything down and it takes like half a second. And then you can get unlucky with it where they teleport around the room and it's hard to lock them down. So I got very lucky here. I managed to transition her during her Dark Fury cast. So she fired off 1 bolt of Dark Fury, then teleported, canceled the cast, and didn't summon any minions. That's the best way to do it. It's hard to time it, but that is definitely the best way. You want to try to transition after you kill a pack of imps. As you can see here, I got hit by the boulders because my camera wasn't panned around for it. Thankfully, Icebound Fortitude does remove the stun. I also have the Blood Spattered Scales. You should have access to them. They're from the other side. They do help immensely with this fight. I don't think they're needed as long as you don't make mistakes. Like I didn't get hit by boulders. As you can tell, I dipped down to 3. And then I have to use Death Strike because I gotta kill an imp, gotta kill another imp, Death Strike, and I'm back up to 40%. I've healed for 51k, by the way, total with Death Strike. So I'm back to being stable. At 35%, you want to switch to using Soul Reaper like you traditionally would with any other boss or any other ad or whatever. And you still need to keep an eye out for the fuming imps and make sure that you dump them off on the sides as best you can. This run was nowhere near perfect. I actually made quite a few mistakes. I'm battling these guys here so that I can make sure that they don't show up at the top. If you're not quick enough, she'll actually summon the other ads before you get there, and that's kind of bad. So you want to make sure if you're going to commit to that you can actually get them down in time. See, I get there just as the other ads spawn here. Dark Transformation, I actually missed my Dark Transformation click. I have it running through Voodoo. I actually missed that, but it worked out though in the end. It got my ghoul positioned better. So with each one of those, we get a reset. I heal with it. Come back over here to the side, try to knock him down. Then I got one more ghoul, tab to him, Clawing Shadows it. And now we have these ghouls again, or these imps again. Grip Interrupt, use my Death and Decay to cleave them down quickly. And as you can tell, the boss hasn't healed that much HP. Big thing is when you get hit by a boulder, you have to IBF, I would say, immediately, unless you're at like max HP and it takes you down to 40. If it does that, then you're fine, but anything lower than that, you're definitely going to want to use Icebound Fortitude. You're probably going to want to use your AMS as well. See, there you go. I got punished for trying to position the exploding imp in the back of the room there. Corpse Explosion for your ghoul is also an important ability. Typically, Unholy doesn't use it that often, I don't believe, because our ghoul is a lot of our damage. But it gives you 25% of your HP back for a small amount of runic power, which can make or break the run. Again, Blood Spattered Scales coming in hot for me. I get hit by this boulder here. I see it coming, but I was being greedy about trying to get that imp down. I almost walked into another boulder. Death Strike reset saved me, though. We're still on him. I'm trying to position this fuming imp, and I'm trying to grip the other one away, but GCDs kind of interfere with that, so you want to be careful with your GCD timing. Because grip is on the GCD, so you can't cast it after casting something else right after. We got Apocalypse running. We got Soul Reaper down. We're back to being stable. Biggest thing is just stabilize. Always focus the imps. Make sure to try to get to a state where you can stabilize, and then from there you can assess the situation. Once it's just you and Agatha. If you need to heal, you can heal. If you want to throw some death coils, you can throw death coils, whatever you're comfortable with. So again, she's going to teleport here during the Fury cast. Oh no, actually this isn't the Fury cast she teleports on. It's the next one. So I get stunned here. It's a really dangerous situation there. IBF thankfully came back up. AMS was up. So I was able to use both of those to save myself. And then I get nothing but resets here, which gets me back up to full HP. So the healing counter for Deathstrike is at 91k. I've taken 91, or I've healed for 91k damage so far. And I only have like a 7 or 8k health bar. There's the teleport. Sorry for the lag. It's a lot of green and my graphics card doesn't handle well. You can see there I use Corpse Explosion, resummon the ghoul. It gave me an extra 20%. So I went from 40 to 70 or 48 to 73. And now we're back up. Make sure to interrupt. Leave them down as best you can. Even if the boss heals a little bit, it's not the end of the world. So make sure you're okay with where you're standing. Death gripping is important, but it's not the end all be all. If you're gonna eat a rock to do it, don't just move and let the boss heal a little bit. So we got Dark Fury, break the shield, interrupt. And now we have Dark Transformation up, and we're gonna go ahead and cleave all these imps down like we've done all the time, or the entire time. My advice for this back platform here is to use Outbreak on Agatha. Even though she's immune, it's still fine. It still spreads to everything around her. That way you can use Epidemic to deal as much damage as humanly possible to her. And we kill her right as the imps come up. And I eat the Boulder of Victory. And there's my achievements, just to prove that I'm doing the 9.1.5 achievements. I guess that'd be obvious from the Augment rune as well as the other buff, but just in case. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I tried to give my play-by-play the best that I could as it was happening in time. I do apologize if it was a little rambly, but the TLDR, the big takeaways, always use Unholy Blight and Death and Decay for the healing imps, the imp servants as they're called. And you always want to pay attention for the little fuming imps that spawn, because you want to take those to the side. You got to stand still for a second, because they don't detonate right away. If you're moving around, they will never detonate. They'll keep chasing you around until you stop moving, and then they try to blow up on you. So you have to take them to the side, stand there. Sometimes they bug and they don't blow up right away. I've had one stare at me for like 10 seconds, and I lost a lot of uptime on the boss because of that. It was just really unlucky. But that's how you deal with them. You take them to the side. Unless you can use Dark Transformation and blow everything up at the same time. Um, the next set of ads you'll get will be the shield ads after that. You want to use Dark Transformation for that, and you want to try to send your ghoul as far back to line up on as many imps as possible. So that way you can cleave them all down. There will be rare cases where you'll get both the shield imps as well as the healing imps, and in that case you would just use Dark Transformation. You'd basically blow everything. You'd blow DT, you'd blow Unholy Blight, you'd use Death and Decay as well. As for the defensive side of it, you always want to use your Deathstrike to heal. As you can see, I healed for 107k total during that, while only doing 698 DPS. Like, DPS is a big deal, but it's also not a big deal. As long as you're killing the imps, you're perfectly fine. You're on target for the DPS check. The big thing is going to come into Wind knowing how to use Death Strikes. The other big thing about Death Strike is it actually gives you Runic Corruption as well. That free Death Strike that you get for killing something gives you a chance at Runic Corruption, which gives you more runes, which gives you more damage overall. So you're not sitting there funneling runes. Use Icebound Fortitude when you get stunned. If you're really having trouble with it, you can go get the Blood Spattered Scales. You can farm it really quick. You don't even have to upgrade it because it all scales down to the same level. So you just have to go get a Mythic set or a Mythic 2 set or something, and you can equip it, and it doesn't have to be upgraded, and you can use that version of it. That is a big life-saving trinket. It does a bit of damage in here, especially, and then gives you that full shield, so it gives you a chance to get caught up. You've seen a couple times I went down to like 3% health. See if I can find it. I went to like 3%. Is it here? No. It would have been on this side here, like there. Oh, never mind. That's a death. Sorry, I'm using a VOD from earlier. I don't think we're gonna find the 3% where I got blasted, but she transitioned yet? She has not. That's after first transition here. I get hit. It's down here. See, I'm at 13%. I use the scales to give me that giant shield there. AMS is coming off cooldown. I'm recognizing this. I had to use Icebound in order to get through the stun. But see, I'm going to use AMS here once I get low to 3%. Or actually, I could have used AMS and I didn't. So that's kind of a mistake, I think. I think what was going through my mind is that I didn't need AMS at the time. I thought I would be fine. I figured I'd get the reset and then I would heal. It was really close. At 3%, I should have just used AMS instead of playing it dangerously there. I don't remember what I end up using this AMS for, honestly. I think it's to get down the other side of the the hallway to transition. The other big thing is when you're running down the hallway, you want to use Death's Advance. You for sure want to use Death's Advance to get there as quickly as humanly possible. You can spec into Wraith Walk. I am not using Wraith Walk. I am using Spell Eater. See, now I'm running down there. So yeah, I use AMS to mitigate her casts while I'm running to her. So that probably could have been used a bit more defensively when I was at 3%. So it just goes to show you don't have to play perfect in order to get this boss down. Anyways, guys, with that, I'm going to go ahead and head out of here. I would have liked to have done a video with like cooldowns on the side and everything and really show you guys in depth with, tooltips and that. But unfortunately, I couldn't do that. Hopefully this will suffice. Let me know if you guys have any luck. If you have any questions about the Unholy Tower, let me know down below. I'll answer them as best I can. With that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.